Yes, and we are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching us from, or you'll be catching the replay. But anyways, good evening from our end. Yeah, it's tonight here in Nigeria. So thank you so much for joining us. Today is day 19. Hey, we don't the
Going
waka go like they say.
gradually.
Slowly but
Hmm.
slowly but surely. Thank God for His
Yeah.
grace and His strength. Is it easy? No, but we keep pushing. So
Mm-mm.
thank you so much. Good evening, sisters. How you doing?
Good evening.
Very well. Good evening.
Fine, thank you,
I'm,
sis. And you?
I'm good. Eshima, thank you.
Ah, not bad deal.
All
We
right. So
did here.
today we are talking about we're still continuing on our miracle equation challenge, and we're talking about taking God along in your efforts. That's what we're talking about this evening. But before we go into our topic, I'd like us to introduce ourselves. I introduce myself, Star Kemi, Star Lilian, and then we get the show rolling. So, if you're seeing me for the first time, my name is Adeola Toluse. I'm a Christian. I'm a wife. I'm a mom of two beautiful girls. I used to work for the federal government of my country, but because of this business, I'm able to run it from the comfort of my home and take care of my two girls. So thank you so much for joining us this night. Over to you, Star Kevin.
Good evening, viewers at home, and good evening, sisters. How are you people doing? How was your day? Hope you had a great one. Okay, we are back again to day 19 of our 30-day Go Live challenge. And we appreciate every one of you joining us each time we come live. We say thank you and God bless you. For those of you that are just seeing this face for the first time, I'm the face behind Kego Digital Consult. And my name is Oluwakemi Ayeni. I'm originally from Nigeria, but currently living in Belgium. I'm a mom, a wife, I work in the air sector, and I run this wonderful, amazing online digital business as a side also. So thank you all. Have your seat and let's get it started. Thank you, sis.
Lillian.
Let's get it started. Because you said, let's get it started. There's a song called Let's Get It Started. All Gen Z. Good evening, everyone. It's back. We are back again tonight for our series, continuing our podcast or, live stream of the Miracle Equation. So, thank you very much for joining. If you haven't met me before, I am Lillian. I am originally from Nigeria, but I now live in the United Kingdom and I'm also a digital business mentor. And I hope that you find some inspiration today and take it one day at a time. Thank you.
You sisters. So we'll go right into the show. And like I said before, I said we're talking about taking God along in our efforts. So that means like whatever we're doing, we want to talk about how the importance of taking God along is in our endeavors. And the first question that we'll be talking about or answering today is, why is it important to take God along in everything we do? Okay, so because God is, one of the attributes or names of God is Elroy, the God that sees me. And so God sees us. He said even from the womb, he formed us from our womb, even when we did not know whether we're going to come out a boy, a girl, or. So God has even, He has known us from there. So there's nothing we want to do in this life. There's nothing we do that can take God by surprise, or nothing we want to do that God will say, "Oh, how did he become a doctor? Or how did he become a business owner?" As in, we never take God by surprise because He sees from the end, from the beginning. So
Yeah.
even before He start the journey, He already knows the outcome, and so that is why it is very, very important to take God along in our journey. I know somebody will say, "Hey, but God already knows now, so why should we?" He knows where we are going. So why should we now like still involving? Because we need to involve God because, like you said, God already sees. And so when you say that God, this journey, you see me, I can't see. So I need you all the way. It's just acknowledging that we cannot do things from our own strength or in our own strength, and we actually need God. And when God sees that okay, yes, we actually need His help, because God will not force His will, even though He knows where we are going. He will not force His will on man. And so we already have a choice to do whatever we want to do. And so if you don't call him, he will just be there and be looking that, okay, when you are ready, I'm here. And so, and it's always beautiful to, like, from the beginning and say that, Lord, this thing that I want to do, a lot of us, before we started this business, we prayed. It was when we got that peace or that leading that we started, you know. So, and for a lot of things, there are things that I have done that initially I did not involve God. And then when I got to, Agbami, when I got to the middle of the road, I was like, God, you will have mercy. Oh. I'm sorry I did not even know that. Oh, I'm sure that if I had involved God, I remember when I lost like a lot of money. That transaction to transfer the money, it gave me wahala. I should not have known that it was God that was telling me something. But I kept pushing, pushing until that money went. And at the end of the day, that money went down the drain. I was like, you see, God was telling me that, one more, thought you away, keep this money. And I looked at it as sincerely. I did not pray about it. I just felt my head knowledge that it's business. If I do this, it will work. So imagine if I had put God in that equation and like, God, what do you want me to do? I'm sure I would not have lost that money. And even when he was even still trying to, in his mercy, tell me, coconut head, I did not hear until I lost that money. And it was a great lesson. So, so when I wanted to start it, I was like, Lord, that I just lost money. Should I do this one? Should I do this one? And I had that peace. I had that leading and I started. So it is very important for us to take God along in whatever we are doing because He knows the end from the beginning and then He can tell us. And then, when you have already entrusted God in something, when you encounter challenges, you can go back and say, God, I told you about it. Oh, I got a
You
leading.
asked me to do it.
What should I do? You have to help me. Oh. When Peter was thinking, I was like, Lord, you were the one that said I should come, and God said his hand and held him.
Mm.
It's very important that whatever we want to do before we take any action, we put God first. Thank you. So I'll now go to Sister Kemi. So, we have said this, we should put God first. So, is it that, so when we now put God, that God, me, I've told you, is it that we will now fold our hands, we will not do anything? Does involving God mean that I should stop living
Mm.
or stop working hard?
No, sis. Thank you for that questions. Involving God in whatever we are doing doesn't mean we should just fold our hand and sit it down without doing anything. It means we are asking God to come into whatever we are doing, and we will allow Him to do His part while we are doing ours as well. It's combination of faith and intentional effort. Unwavering and intentional effort. It's like when you wake up in the morning, you commit your days into God's and let Him direct you, let Him lead you, lead your path, and be gratitude for whatever He has done for you. For waking you up alone, is the best grace ever. You sleep well, you wake up well, nothing happens. A lot of people sleep in the night, they didn't wake up the next day. Not that we are more righteous or we are more powerful than them, but it's just by His grace. So when we wake up, we should just be, firstly, we should be gratitude to Him, be grateful to Him, and pray for His guidance. We should ask Him to come and lead us. He should direct our paths. And we have to do that one constantly, not just in the morning and leave the rest of the no. Even in the afternoon, you still have to at least ask for things, let Him to direct you, throughout the day. And at night too, when we're about going to bed, we still have to thank Him, be grateful for showing us mercy, even for those things we were able to achieve and those we are not, because everything with God work for good. So if you are trying to achieve something and that thing didn't work out, it doesn't mean you are still not going to get it. It doesn't mean God is not involved. It doesn't mean He's not with you. But for Him to have allowed you not to be able to achieve that thing, there is a big purpose or a lesson that He wants you to learn out of that situation. So we should be always committed our ways to Him, so that He will be able to guide us and see us through whatever we are passing through. Another thing is that we have to be consistent. Letting God be involved doesn't mean we should not do anything. We still have, it's like we have the faith that, okay, God is involved, but we still have to do that extraordinary thing. You know, faith with action. We still have to be consistent in whatever we are doing. For example, you plant a seed and you leave it without watering it, without clearing all the weed in the environment, and you are expecting to harvest. What are you going to harvest? So when you are doing something, you have to prepare other things. You have to make the place clean. You have to wet it. You have, in the in that example I gave, that of a plant. So you still have to wet it, you have to clear the weeds in the environment, and you have to take care of it till you get to that harvest uh, point before you can harvest. So, and that is the same thing. It might be in our parental life. For no, is God. We all believe that. So, for someone to have nurtured a kid to become adult and to be prosper, it is not by our grace alone. It is not by our mind. It is just the grace of God. So, in our parental post as well, or parental job, we still have to nurture our kids in the way of God. We have to show them how to pray. We have to let them know how to be respectful to others. All those things. We wouldn't say because we have given birth to them, then the rest, they are on their own. No, it doesn't work like that. And the same thing goes with when you have business. If you're a career person or you are a business person, once you know that, oh, this business, I want to do it. So you have to put in everything in your capacity to make sure that your business flourish. So when you do your own part, leave the rest to God. Even though you are doing it, you are not seeing any result yet or expected result yet. That doesn't mean God is not with you. That doesn't mean you are not doing anything, because it's a process. It's one step after the other. So doing it without people noticing it, or you yourself, you are not seeing what you are expecting to get, continue doing it. God sees your heart. He knows where he's taking you to. At times, delay at times is not it's not denial. For God to have accept that thing to happen, it doesn't mean he doesn't know what he's doing with you or where he's taking you to. At times, things might happen. Maybe God might have seen that if you achieve that thing easily, you might not know the value, or it might even be dangerous to your life. So it will keep on delaying it. And one thing is that they used to say this in Yoruba. I don't know how to put that one in English. Pé Ọlọ́run kì í pààyàn lórí kó má fi hàn gbòdì. If you lose in some areas, you will still gain it back in another area. So if God is delaying that thing for you not to get it, he will be giving you some other things, some other expected favor. But because you did not pray for it, you will not value it, because that is not what you are expecting. So you see it as uncle is anything. You will even be thinking it's by your own power. No, it is not. Because God knows what is delaying you not to get. You need it, but it might be dangerous for you. It might be that if you have it easily, you might not know the value, and you might misuse it, and later on you lose that opportunity. So he will keep on giving you other things that you don't ask for, but then you don't see it as something important because you don't want them at that purpose. So it's involving God in whatever you are doing. It's in a series, and it have a lot of advantage. But the good aspect is that whatever we're supposed to do in our own part, we should do it. We should not leave everything to God. Not that we say, God is involved in my business, then I have to go home and be sleeping. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do adverts. I don't have to show up daily. I don't have to talk to people. If people even check my website, I don't have to do anything. You are on a long thing, no. And they say, oh, why ho? You are on your own. So when you are involving God in whatever you are doing, you still have to do your own part. Don't be 100% leave everything you are doing you're supposed to do and be expecting miracle. Manna doesn't fall from heaven, no. And miracle, you have to work for it. We are calling it miracle because it comes at the unexpected time, but you must have done something to deserve it. So do your own part and let God do the rest. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma. You said something about harvest, that when you plant a seed, and then when the harvest come. So even in the process of harvesting, there's still work, because if you don't
Yeah,
harvest it, maybe you planted corn, the birds that did not help you to plant it, they will help you to eat it. If you don't
then that's it.
Abi, if you don't harvest it on time. And that's why, at times maybe we have an idea that God has put in our mind, and you are still dilly-dally. Before you know it, somebody will just pick it up, and you will, that thing, and I wanted to do it too. And somebody
Mhm.
will,
Yeah,
because
it
in life,
happens.
life life aborts vacuum. So
Overtaking is allowed.
Ben, you Ben. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
ma. Yeah. Thank you, puppies, for joining us, and Fauzia. Thank you so much for joining us. And
Mhm.
the last question, we'll go to Sister Lillian. We say taking God along. But what does it really look like in our daily life?
Hmm.
Thank you very much for that lovely question. And even I'm hoping that as our viewers have heard the question, they are also reflecting. One way to succeed in life is sitting down and taking stock of what you have done and what you should have done better. And, reflecting is very, very important. That's the
Hmm.
only way you can learn, and that's the only way you can grow. So, in my view, what does taking God along really look like is simple. It looks like this, you know, praying before making decisions, no matter how tiny. I remember very clearly one time, just before I go further, I remember when I was at university back home in Nigeria, and I was living in a camp, I wasn't living in the campus, I was living in a shared apartment. And I don't know what happened to me that day. It was my turn. So the way it's done is that we take turns to clean the bathroom, we take turns to clean the bathroom and the toilet, because it's shared. I remember it was my turn to clean the bathroom. And I didn't even know when I started praying to God, like, God, please help me clean this bathroom well. God, please make sure that as I'm cleaning this bathroom with just soap and water, your chemicals, your whatever, you are disinfecting it for me. Like, you're just disinfecting this bathroom. And I was just saying that prayer, and I have no idea why I was praying to clean the bathroom. But I mean, it may look small, but it turns out that before I had cleaned that bathroom, many people that had used it previously had had some kind of infection. And I didn't realize that that was what was happening. It was only after I cleaned that bathroom that I started hearing that, oh, they had infection, they had this. I'm thinking, oh my God, was that why you wanted me to pray? Just to make sure that the healing comes, you know?
Hmm.
So for me, it looked very small, but in that moment, it was a big thing. Do you
Yeah.
understand? And it didn't come out until later. So whatever decision, and the basis of me saying that narrative is this, whatever decision you are making, it might look small, say a prayer. It may look big, say a prayer. Most people tend to wait until they want to make those big decisions before they pray. They don't realize that God is in the detail. He likes to be a part of your daily life. Oh God, I'm about to send this email. Please let it hit rightly, or let the person that is going to receive this email, let them not misinterpret it. In the little things. And that is what taking God along looks like. Also, listening for his promptings. There are times in our lives, like Sister Adeola said, she received the prompting, but she was just pushing forward. I must do this. I must do this. And at the end, she made a loss. Those are his promptings sometimes. It comes in a way, it's very quiet, very subtle. But if we take God along daily, he would always protect us from evil. He would always give us signs. He will always give us, even if it's
Yeah.
danger, he will give us warning. If it is something that he wants us to do, he will give us sign to move ahead with it. Okay. So taking God along daily is being present in him. Like, yes, you may be working, you pray. Because even the Bible tells us to pray without ceasing. It doesn't mean you have to be physically praying all the time, but in your mind, you're reflecting, you're thinking about God, you're thanking Him, you're telling Him, oh Lord, I love you, help me with this assignment. I can't even count how many times in my own personal life at work, I'm dealing with something, and sometimes I can't find the answer. And I'm like, God, please just come through for me. Please just show me what to do. And
Hmm.
I leave it. Once I say that prayer, I leave it and I go away. Like, I leave it alone, I move on to something else, and I come back to it and I find solutions. And that is taking God along, studying the Bible, studying the word for wisdom, staying sensitive to his leading, even in the small things. So, like I said earlier, it doesn't have to be a big thing before you look for God. He is interested in the small thing. And if you take it as if you make him a part of your daily life, you would see the impact. It will become a norm for you that even when you want to make those big decisions, this is normal. It's almost like as if you're talking to your friend. Okay. So taking God along is really involving him in those decisions, listening, trying to pay attention to his promptings, also trying to study and stay sensitive. Oh, I'm about to go to this shop right now, and God is telling you, or it may not even look like you're just basically saying, okay, you need to sit down and maybe read that book right now because there is something I want you to find. So you will just discover that maybe you may not know why he asked you to read that book because you don't know. God knows, as Sister Adeola had mentioned, God knows your end from your beginning. I've had many instances where I could have chosen to say, oh, this is a terrible thing. Sometimes I'm running late to somewhere, or sometimes I'm getting somewhere late and I'm thinking to myself, oh God, I shouldn't be late. I shouldn't be late. When driving, you have to drive to that place. But I tell myself that I may be late here, but I don't know what was in front of me that God was protecting me
Yeah.
from. So because of that, at least I got there, So it's about staying sensitive. If things don't work out, don't panic. God is in the detail. He may be protecting you from something, but if you are not taking God along daily, you may think it's a bad thing, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. So to summarize, what does taking God along really look like? Praying before making decisions, involving him in the details, listening for his promptings, studying his word, and staying sensitive to his leading, even in the small things. That's just a summary of what it looks like. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sis. Thank you. You were talking about, that you know, taking God along in the small things, in the little things. And if we don't even, when you take God, it's like a school. When you take God, when you take him along in the small things, that's when you will begin to know the pattern of God, how God answers your prayer. So when you now take him up in the big things, it will be easy to be able to recognize that, oh, this is God's voice. But if you've not even trusted him in the little things, it will be very difficult when you want to make that, major decision, and you're like,
Decision.
God, where are you? Where are you in all of this? But if you have been like in the everyday things, like my mom would say, if you want to cook, say, Holy Spirit, help me. But you see that soup, it will be,
It will be
yeah,
sweet. Yeah.
I'm telling you, say, Holy Spirit, help me. And I see it work a lot. Most of the time, maybe it's in the middle, I will remember, say, Holy Spirit, I'm sorry, but help me. Oh. Help me. This thing does not go south. Oh. Especially maybe when I'm having guests around. And God is always willing to help us. He's ever ready to help us. We just have to, entrust our life in him, take him along and do our own part. Because
That's
that work with God is a partnership. And so God
Yes.
will not do our own part for us because we cannot do his part for him. So make
Yep.
everybody focus on your focus,
true.
and
Shine your shine.
yes.
Good.
God is a faithful God. Thank
Mm,
Yep.
you, Mr. Wisdom Chukushka. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. Thank you so much. And so we will
Yeah.
go in shortly. But before we go, today is Thursday and it's our webinar Thursday, and it will not be right for us to go without talking about this amazing workshop. So I'll go to Sister Kemi. One word for people watching us, or people that will still even watch the replay, because the beautiful thing about our webinar is that there's always live and replay. So one word for our viewers.
Thank you, sis. Viewers at home, as my sister have said, tonight is our webinar night, info session night, where we lay it down, where you can learn all the basic things, everything you need to invest in this online digital business and run it successfully. Come and check it out. Come and watch the info session live, or you watch the replay later. But you can never regret watching that live webinar, because every one of us here, or every one of us in that business, will watch one webinar that get us convinced to know that this is a legit business. This is real business with real people, and everything is history. Come and check it out for yourself. Come and listen to people's stories, people's experience before and after they joined this business community, and their achievement, what they were able to do within a space of 2 to 3 years,
Mhm.
what they have been able to achieve that they cannot achieve or they were not able to achieve in their primary jobs that they've been for over 15, 20 years. And within 2, 3 years of being in this community, they were able to do it. They were able to rewrite their stories,
Absolutely.
their life stories, and live a life on their own terms. Come and check it out for yourself. Maybe this is what you have been looking for. All the prayer, God, I need a change. I need a change. You don't know. Maybe this is the change God is preparing before you. So we'll be expecting to see you at the other side. Just log on to any of our websites, register with your name and email address. So we'll be able to send you the link to our info session. So hope to see you later on. Thank you and bye for now. So
Okay, thank you very much. So, from my point of view, what I would say is this. As Kemi has said everything else, everything really. Just come in, sign up, and save your spots to find out more about this info. They say that when you keep doing the same thing and expect a different result, then you're not being truthful to yourself.
mhm,
No one says you should leave your 9 to 5 job. No one says you should stop working. But at the end of the day, you should bear in your mind that you're building someone else's dream. You're building someone else's empire. My question back to you is, are you building your own empire? What are you doing today to building that empire for yourself? Okay. So if you really want to do something that is flexible, that allows you to continue doing your job, because I get it. Some people love their career. They just love it. And that's
mhm,
okay. But if you want to be building something for yourself by the side, this is just the right fit for you simply because you can do it alongside your career, no matter how busy you are. No
yeah.
matter how busy you think you are, you can do it. Okay? So come and check it out and see for yourself whether it's the right fit for you. The first thing to do is just, as Auntie Kemi said, is come and watch the info webinar, register on our websites, save your spots, and we'll guide you on your journey. Hope to see you there. Thanks.
Thank you so much, sis. Like Stalilian said, don't get us wrong. We are not condemning a 9 to 5. 9 to 5 is fantastic because
Mhm.
it will make you, at least you'll be comfortable. You'll be able to, meet your immediate needs. But if you
Gata
are
or
looking
gauta.
but if you are looking for something that you can build legacy on, if you are looking for something that can make you wealthy, a 9 to 5 will not make you wealthy. Let's clear that. But if you are looking for something that you will make you wealthy, something you can live for your generation, then you should have your business. And the amazing thing about this business is that you don't have to leave your 9 to 5 to do this. You can run it alongside your 9 to 5. So you decide if you still want to continue with your 9 to 5, or you want to do this business, or you want to, the beautiful thing about this business is that you decide what you want to do. You live life on your own terms. So this is an opportunity again to tell you that if you want to live life on your own terms, the first step is to watch the webinar. Then from there you decide on what you want to do going forward. That is all we all do. That 2, 3 years after, we are still in the business, working on thanking God
Mhm.
that we have a business we can call our own. So thank you so much. Thank you. We've had an amazing time this evening. Thank you. And tomorrow, by His grace, we'll be here and we'll have another interesting topic, impactful topic that you will learn one or two things from. So thank you so much and have a blessed night. Thank you. Good night.
Thank
Thank
you all.
you.
I love
Good night.
you. Bye.
Bye.